Alrighty, so hello, this is Gabby, obviously, and so I just kind of wanted to start out saying that this interpersonal project has been super good and helpful, even just to think about without even like implementing what I've learned thus far. It's been just really good already for my relationship and just even my way of thinking. So just wanted to thank you for that and start out by saying that. And the relationship I chose to do this project on is my best friend Carly. We've been friends for 5 years. We are very similar in almost every single way. We have never had any major issues. We've lived in different states for 3 years now, so that's definitely had its challenges, but I think our friendship is such a priority to both of us that, distance, it doesn't matter how far we are. We've been countries away, and yeah, we just hold friendship very close to us. Um, so, yeah, we've, in thinking about all of these different concepts, I feel actually very lucky because we haven't had any like super major issues, but it's just stuff that we can like maintain and continue to improve. So, yeah. So, when it comes to that, and the 5 things I chose, the first one I chose was intimacy, which seems, a little strange considering it's a friendship and not, a relationship. Um, but I think intimacy is incredibly important in friendship because if it weren't for intimate spaces, a place where I feel safe, I probably couldn't have been as vulnerable as I would like to be in my relationship with Carly. And so, in thinking of maintaining that, I think it's so important to create that space. Intimacy doesn't necessarily come like super easy in my friendships. You kind of have to be really intentional in the way you go about it. And so, yeah, I think that is just my main takeaway for that one is just create that intentional space where we can be open with each other and let our walls down. Another concept I chose was perception. Sometimes, even though we're so similar, we still have different realities, and sometimes I may not understand hers completely because she has a different perception than me. And so I think in looking to maintain just a good sense of perception is just to be open with one another and share and be understanding, even when we don't fully understand each other. And that will help us better understand when we don't. The third concept I chose was debilitative emotions. We all get to places and times in our lives when it's overwhelming and we're getting stressed out, and we don't deal with things necessarily healthfully. And so, in dealing with that with Carly, even though we've never had any major problems with it, I think just being gentle with the person will be very helpful in letting someone know or helping them out when they are feeling like they have a debilitated, like when they are getting to a place of an emotion becoming debilitative, such as, going boy crazy or something like that. Like, okay, gonna gently be there for you and not let you get to a place of no return. Yes, and then another concept I chose was listening. Um, so both our personality types, we are both, in my opinion, very good listeners. Um, but when it comes to maintaining that, I have seen, just for me, that sometimes my intention with listening is not totally self selfless. Sometimes I'm a little selfish in my listening where I just want to, get my word in and not fully be there to listen to her. And I think just being aware of that as I'm listening is very important. So we've gone over intimacy, perception, debilitative emotions, listening, and now nonverbal communication. As super close friends, it's very easy to read our nonverbal communication by our body language, how we're acting, without even saying any words. And so, in maintaining that, I think just for myself, to have a good, healthy relationship with Carly, I need to make sure to stay away from passive aggressiveness because I'm not super outwardly like angry with things. I tend to just kind of get passive aggressive in my body language, like rolling my eyes or like, you know, there could be a million different like little nuanced things that I've come up with at this point when I get annoyed. But just to, it's always more healthy to talk about things. And not just like be passive aggressive like that. And so I think just to be aware and intentional in my body language would be very helpful in maintaining and improving that. And so, yeah, just in closing, all 5 of these intimacy, perception, debilitative emotions, listening, and nonverbal communication all so important. And I just thank you for this project, and hopefully it's good.